Welcome to
Core Memory Unlocked.
Hello?
Hey.
Craving Taco Bell.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Me too. I was going to say that.
God,
That's
that
so
or
funny.
Pizza Hut. What are we doing?
Yeah. Taco Bell. I've had pizza recently. I haven't had Taco Bell in forever.
I haven't had Taco Bell in 3 years.
I know. It's crazy talk.
And until they come back with the Demolition Man value pack, I ain't going back.
Ain't doing it.
Welcome to Core Memory Unlocked. I'm Zach. That's Justin. And this is the last of back-to-back weeks of Core Memory Unlocked 93 because, as you've seen, we have expanded. We have Core Memory Horror that's going to be on the main page. We haven't recorded yet, so I don't know the title, but Brooke watches the Mission Impossible. We have all these coming out. We have all retro things on this channel. I'm excited. Things are popping here on said channel. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We also are on Spotify where you can comment or watch this video, or you can do the YouTube thing and like it. Suck it, Trebek. All right, so we did Demolition Man. We did, obviously, the B-rated version of an action hero for Demolition Man last week. Yes. And I love that Sly Stallone was trying to drag Wesley Snipes to his level. But thank God Wesley crawled out of that hole with Blade, which we'll do in a couple of years. Who knows?
Yep.
But we are doing the other superstar, the action superstar movie, Last Action Hero. Now, last week you knew nothing of Demolition Man.
Yes.
Do you know anything of Last Action Hero?
Yes, but there's a caveat to that. Here's my experience with it. I had not seen this movie as a child. I didn't know it, and I did not know this movie at all as a childhood. My childhood. When I was in my probably early mid-20s, I had some roommates, and they caught wind that I had never even heard of this movie, and they're like, "We got to watch this fucking movie." I watched it blind, and
love it. So this is the revisit. Yes. This is 20-year-old eyes compared to your 30-something eyes.
Yes. And so let me kind of just quickly recap what my experience was, which is because the opening scene is, remind me of Arnold Schwarzenegger's name again.
Oh, in the movie. Fuck. Oh, God.
A billion times.
They do. No, don't do this to me, Justin.
Okay, sorry.
Slater. Jack Slater.
Jack
Slater.
They
didn't even need to look it up because it's the title of the fucking movie.
So Jack Slater comes in and he's just fucking badass dude, just walking in with his cowboy boots, and I was like, what the? I thought this was gonna be like a Demolition Man. Like, what the fuck are we watching? This is okay. I get it. This is why you wanted me to watch it, because it's over the top and campy and stupid. But like, whatever. Cool. We'll watch it. Right. And which is exactly how I described to watch Demolition Man. Like, get some friends, get some beards, and just have a good time. So I thought that's what this was.
Right.
So then it reveals that it's just a movie in this movie. So I was like, okay, all right, the old switcheroo, I get it. Now we're following this kid around. It's very 90s. He looks very 90s. Mm-hmm. He's hanging out with some creep in an abandoned theater. Fucking rundown.
God damn, why you gotta go after his Doc Brown?
No, that's true. That is what it is. So anyway, so I'm watching this. So I'm like, okay, this is all weird and doesn't really. This seems campy too, because I'm like, none of this is believable. But whatever. He's late to school. He goes to school. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Oh shit! It's Back to the Future.
Yeah, he stays. So then his mom has to leave to go to work or something, and she's like, don't. Stay here. Don't open the door for anyone. The second he opens the door, a criminal's like, yeah. And so I'm like, this is okay. Is this like a dream sequence? Like, this isn't really happening. This is his imagination, but it is happening.
Yeah.
He goes to the police. The police, after they file the report, they go, okay, go straight home and lock the door. This kid was just robbed at knife point, and the mom isn't going to even leave work to check on him. The cops are going to be like, just walk home. Just be safe.
Yeah,
I'm
no
like,
one took care
this
of
movie
him.
is so. I'm like, this movie is so. I thought this movie was stupid, and then I was like, oh, it's not stupid. Now I'm like, this movie is fucking stupid again, but in a different. Because then like he goes to the theater instead of going home, and now this creep has like a magical ticket. He's like role playing with this kid now. It's so goddamn weird. And this theater is huge. It's not like a regular movie theater. It's a fucking like Carnegie Hall 3-level. So anyway, he's watching this movie all by himself, the new Jack Slater movie.
Yeah.
So then ends up the ticket is magical. So now I'm like, now there's magic in this fucking movie.
Then he gets Houdini gave it to him.
Then he wanted to be a musician. So then he gets sucked into this movie that he's watching, and it becomes the best fucking movie ever. I'm like, fucking genius. All is forgiven. This is the best fucking premise. The best. I fucking love this. It was such a like whiplash.
What a turn!
Like, this is stupid. Yes, it was. It was many a turns, but the last turn was like, this is so fucking genius. This is such a genius movie. Anyway, so go ahead. That was my initial experience of this movie, and it was a delight to kind of rewatch and like replay how my first experience was and knowing the turns that were coming. Oh, it was good times.
I saw this in theater. I went to Greenbrier Mall's movie theater when it was still whoever owned it, maybe it be a Regal or whatever. And all I remember, like leaving, I remember leaving, my stepdad, my mom walking behind me, and all I remember was like, "Did you like it?" And my stepdad go, not for me. And I go, "I loved it." Like I remember verbatim saying that. And I think this movie for me, for especially who I am as a person, if you look at like even my 2024 movie list, any movie that had to deal with like Hollywood or something like that is in the top tier list for me.
Yes.
So the fact that there is a movie that not only deals with Hollywood, but deals with action movies in general, it's the first wall break thing I've ever seen.
And I know it was so meta. It was great. And I also like, I'm sad that I missed this as a kid because to be able to like live vicariously through the main character, this kid getting sucked into like his favorite movie, I'm like, that's something that I miss only seeing it older. But I'm sure like, so you seeing it as a kid, identifying with the kid getting sucked into this favorite movie franchise must have been like extra, like, this is the fucking dream. This is what I would love.
It took me for a minute to figure it out, and we're going to watch a trailer. I have not seen the trailer that I'm about to play, so I don't know how the trailer plays it. But I think it's very interesting that the movie plays itself like a Disney fantasy movie, a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids scenario, but in a rated R action movie. It is obvious this movie's rated R. So the fact that they've figured out the balance of like, okay, this PG concept in a rated R movie makes a PG-13 movie. And then that doesn't even fast forward to the end. Never mind. Let's watch the trailer real quick.
Okay,
I want to get into the trailer. Let's see.
I know.
All right, here we go.
Columbia Pictures is proud to present the screen's greatest action hero, Jack Slater.
Yeah, later.
Don't even focus, Slater, you hear me? This is the Lieutenant Governor.
Tina Turner!
The governor gets here, call me.
I know, everybody,
And
the cameos.
Danny Madigan is his biggest fan.
Jack Slater.
See, look, it just turned into a
But
PG
tonight,
movie.
a magic ticket
It's a passport to another world.
will get Danny closer to the action than anyone ever dreamed.
Nick!
I'm so glad I didn't see this trailer.
So glad.
Who the hell are you?
Don't shoot me. I'm Danny Madigan. I'm a kid.
And you're going with him
Who is this twerp? And where is that smile on his face? I don't even know this kid.
to a world that's bigger than life
Sharon Stone, T2.
It's magic, and it really
Yep.
works.
and better than real.
You really believe that you're inside
Her.
a movie,
Oh my
don't you?
God.
Yes!
Bridget
The
or
bad guys
fucking Billy
are in
Madison.
there. I've seen
girl?
them
Yeah.
on screen.
Could I speak to the drug dealer of the house,
House,
please?
please.
Have a nice
Yeah.
day.
Have him killed. Arnold Schwarzenegger is Jack Slater.
This hero stuff has its limits.
And Jack
But I doubt
Slater
it.
is
Everybody down! Now!
the last action hero. The
Hell
big
yes.
ticket for 93.
Hell yes. Wow,
Yeah.
that cut off real fucking quick.
Yeah. Dude.
Like, wow.
Um,
Oh, there was another
Jesus.
trailer. Oh, damn it. Whatever.
all right.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a high concept movie, and boy, I feel like it was so ahead of its time. Like I could
100%.
see this movie being made today, bar none. Like
Right.
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if that's been in the works or in talks
Wow.
of just kind of like what would be today's version of this.
Could you imagine a reboot with this of like that concept? Because like you said, Deadpool's doing so well. Like, why
Right.
wouldn't someone just be
Yes.
like, you know what we can reboot? We can do Last Action Hero with anybody today. I think we saved
Yes.
that for the end talk. I would love it.
Okay, great.
Fucking,
Okay.
that's an amazing idea.
We'll circle back to that.
Put a pin. This movie, what I love is, do you know who directed it?
No.
John McTiernan directed the movie, and you would know his work because he directed Die Hard
Okay.
and he directed Predator.
Okay.
So Predator is an Arnold
All right.
Schwarzenegger vehicle. So what I love is that they didn't get some guy that was like, I'm going to make fun of action movies, and I know all the
Right.
tropes to do it. They got
Right.
the action guy, and
Yes.
he made fun of his own stuff. He did such
Yes.
a good job of
Yes.
taking like Lethal Weapon stuff. He was
Yes.
spoofing his own things
Yep.
that he would do. Such a great job of
was
once Danny
great.
gets into the movie of like, we're putting Sharon Stone into this. We're going to put T2 just as a reference
Yes.
from last 2 years that you know.
Yeah.
We're going to
Yep.
make Danny DeVito, who's already done movies with
Yes.
Arnold as a cartoon
Yes.
fucking cat.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's shit that they would do now.
Yes.
Because they love all that like nostalgia bait, but they were doing it in '93. That's so crazy. It's
Ahead
so
of
ahead
its
of its
time.
time to be doing that. Yeah, and also like, yeah, it wasn't so much that they were spoofing action movies because they
Right.
weren't, because like, say for example, like Austin Powers is like a spoof of like
Yes.
James Bond movies and making
Right.
fun of it, but it was like they were being self-aware of the over the topness. You know what I mean? They were being
Right.
self-aware of like, hey, you in this world you don't have to reload your gun, and then when they get to the real world you do, and you can't
Right.
just punch through a window and have it not hurt.
Right.
That was another part of the movie. We'll get there, but that was another part of the movie where I was like, this just elevated to get even better. But anyway,
Right.
so like they walked such a fine line to homage action movies and not spoof it, but just be self-aware of the tropes and even
Right.
use the tropes in the movie as part of the plot, which is so
Right.
fucking brilliant. But I
Right.
I am curious. So last week we did Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Did this movie come out before or after Demolition Man?
I want to
Because
say,
boy, was it like, if it's gonna make fun of any movie, it's gonna like if it came out before, I could see it ruining the campiness, the campy action of Demolition Man.
Right. So this says this was released June 18th,
Okay.
1993.
Okay.
And Demolition Man was released October 8th. So
Okay, so it did come out
Demolition Man
after.
came out after.
How about that? How
about
about
them
that? I would
apples?
hate for this movie to come out being like, we're gonna make fun of these over the top action movies, and then when Demolition Man, they were like, oh, we're not even meta, we're just an over the top action movie.
Right. And
God damn.
Now I wonder, and I know, see, the thing is that yes, we say it's ahead of its time, but I want to say because this was before its time, this got
Yeah.
slaughtered.
Yeah, and maybe audiences weren't ready for it yet.
They weren't. They didn't.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like it's
Here you
too
go.
smart.
Here you go. So what we talked about last week with Demo, with 67 audience, 64 critic audience, with only 100,000 reviews, so less than Demo. 48% audience, 42% critic.
That is
Fucking insane. If you want to look me in my eye and tell me Demolition Man's a better movie than Last Action Hero, you can get fucked, sir.
That's insane.
And I mean
this movie is so fucking smart and like one of a kind. It's such a good premise, and they do it so well. So like, God damn, like
this movie,
I love,
this movie made 50 million domestic, 87 overseas, so 137 million total.
Yeah.
Demolition. I bet you fucking this is going to piss me off. So
yeah.
Oh, this only Demolition Man only made 58. This is the weird shit. It made 58 million domestic. No international money came back. So why is there a Pizza Hut version?
Yeah.
What?
That seems, I don't know. Maybe those numbers aren't right.
Maybe video. Well, it could be just video. Like, they may have not have gotten a theatrical release and just put it out on VHS.
That's true.
Okay, so at least Last Action Hero technically made more money.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I can't, dude. I'm still like the fact that like I still don't hear enough about this movie. I just don't get why this movie is not. It's like almost like it's Memento or something. Where like it's this cool high concept movie that hasn't been done before or since.
Yeah.
It's worth checking out if just for that.
And how funny fucking Arnold is in it.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I still laugh to the day when Danny's like, oh, I'm going to show you where he is. The bad guys are in there. And he's like, yeah, you deserve this. He was like, why? Because all the years I went to school, all the years I went to forensics, all the years that I did some studies, all I had to do was drive around the neighborhood and say the bad guys are in there. One of the fucking funniest things I've ever seen. Follow that through, like, when he gets his own apartment. He's like, oh, I have my own apartment here. Shoots the closet. The guy falls down. How'd you know? They're always in there. Like,
dude, it was too ahead of its time, dude.
It is.
It was
like,
way too ahead of it.
This movie is for people today of like, hey, I want you to do this. I want you to watch Terminator. I want you to watch Lethal Weapon. I want you to watch Die Hard. I want you to watch all these movies. And then when you're done, come back to me. I'm going to hand you this fucking beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just, I feel like it was too meta at the time. I mean, that was the thing while watching it. Especially this time around, I was like, this seems too early for this movie. Like, I cannot believe, I didn't think Hollywood was this smart back in 1993. You know what I mean? Like, they were still cashing in on these, like Demolition Man, they were still cashing in on these ridiculous over the top action movies. Like, they're not gonna like undercut it and be like, hey, how dumb are these films? That's something you do like after that era is over. You know what I mean?
Well, also it's the transition from there, because I am thinking, I'm like, I think after this, I think he does True Lies, but we are on the downtrend of Arnold movies. But he's
in his 40s here.
Yeah, but also think of what came out that summer that people were engrossed with, that are just seeing this because it is something different. This is the year Jurassic Park came out.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to see Jurassic Park non-fucking stop.
Yeah.
Repeat viewing after repeat viewing. So when you give them something new that they've never seen and you tell them, but there's an Arnold movie out. Well, I don't get it. Why is he in the movie?
Right. Yes. Right. Like, right.
It's a tough. I think if this movie would have came out the year after Terminator 2 or the year before Terminator 2, I think there's a different reception. The movie is written. I didn't know this until looking it up right now. The story by is Zach Penn. Zach Penn did the story for Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Avengers. He also, it's also written by Shane Black.
I know Shane Black.
And Shane Black, he wrote Lethal Weapon. Kiss, Bang, Bang.
Kiss, Bang, Bang.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3, yeah.
Like, he has a well adjustment towards these movies as well. So, it's really weird going from that Demolition Property to something that obviously had care, to the fact of you have action people writing it, you have an action director, and you have the action star in this. And like I said earlier, all this movie is Back to the Future in the movies. It has a young kid who parties with an old guy. There's some tomfoolery that happens that gets him in something that he needs to get out of. But the difference here is the third act, and you mentioned it, was the fact that they came to the real world, that we're at the premiere of Jack Slater, and all these bad guys are coming in.
Which is not, they could have done without that. Like, they didn't have to. No, but meaning, like, the movie still would have been good. It's like in Top Gun Maverick.
Right.
If they had killed Maverick off, and the next scene, after his plane goes down, if the next scene would have just been like all of them at the funeral, I would have been like, money well spent. Great movie. But then they gave us this whole extra like fourth act, which was just like, what? And so that's what this was. I was like, I would have been okay with like them figuring everything out and then getting it back to his world, kind of like getting Marty back to the future.
Right.
But because I remember at the beginning of the movie going, they're actually mentioning that Jack Slater is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm like, they're actually, and I'm like, well, that's interesting, because I guess Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't actually have to play himself in this movie at all. Right. So they can say he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then, I mean, it no way dawned on me that where they're going with this.
Show him.
That with and then once they went to the real world, and I was like, they can find, it'll be Jack Slater in the same world as like the actor that plays him, which is Arnold. I'm like, if Arnold Schwarzenegger is in this movie, I'm going to lose my mind. And they fucking did it, and they really did it. Like, they committed to it. He was like, "You're the best stunt double I've ever seen."
Oh yeah, you're the best double I've ever seen. We should do mall openings.
Yes, yep.
We should get you for things.
And
he's a salesman the whole time. Again, bringing up Planet Hollywood. What is his wife, fucking Marie Shriver, telling him? Don't talk about the restaurant. Don't plug the restaurant. It's it's so cringe if you do that. And what does he do? He does it because he's a fucking salesman.
Right. Yes. It was like so good. It was like, it took all of like, because it is fun to have this kid be he is the kind of fish out of water, but he knows the water because he knows the movie, which is great.
Call.
And that's all fun. But then like to flip the whole thing on its head and then get these bad guys into the real world, which is a really fish out of water, and they have to figure out like how to navigate this. When he just starts shooting, he's like ready for the taxi to explode, and he just shoots at him. And he's like, "Why are the taxi bulletproof?"
I love that. And playing chicken.
Yeah, playing chicken.
He was like, they're not going to swerve. They hit it.
Yes.
And he's like, what are you talking about? This is the dad with an airbag. Him, nothing.
I could have watched so much more of that world. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted more this kid in movies where he knows what's going on and he's navigating all of these characters being ridiculous. And then I also want real life characters that are used to their worlds and their physics, skewed physics, and come into our world where things are very real. It was just such a treat both ways, man.
I love death coming in and like touching people and killing them, because playing that real death part. But what I loved is two things. One, I love him going to Slater and being like, "Why are you here?" And he's like, "I've never seen something like this. This guy doesn't make sense to me. Why is he here? So how does a fictional thing die?" And then I love that he's like, "I'll see you in about 70 years when you're a grandfather." Did not realize it was Magneto playing him.
Yes, yeah. Sir
I
Ian
have
McKellen.
never known that.
It's so funny because I didn't catch that the first time, but this time, because he did look different. I'm like, oh, that looks like Ian McKellen. There's no way that's Ian McKellen. And I'm like, then he's keep walking around. I'm like, oh, he looks like Ian McKellen. But I know that it's not. It just looks like him because we keep seeing him in like silhouettes and really quick. But then when he starts talking, I'm like, that sounds like, that sounds like Ian McKellen. I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking, they got him for this just small little role in this movie. God damn it, dude. I want to like promote this movie and just tell everybody to go fucking watch it, like this fucking lost treasure.
We have to turn that RT score around. Like, I get that we probably won't, but like, I know too many people that are like, this is a good movie. So with the score being like that, weirds me out because especially in a world where you're going to sit here and tell me like Deadpool and Wolverine, as much as I love it, like it's the same fucking thing. They're doing the same thing.
It would work so well now. It would work so fucking well now.
And you said that earlier. So, like, I would see this as a streaming movie.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And the reason why is because what I think would be adorable is the fact that we do live in a world of two different things. What if the streaming movie was a franchise that used to be theater, but because it's, like, dwindled its budget down to streaming, that's what you play with, of like, oh, I can't do that anymore. Oh, I can't, that's not
okay,
in my budget
yes.
kind of deal. You know what I mean? Yes. You used to have these big explosions, and now it's, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I think
there's a bunch of different ways you could go with it for sure.
And I don't know if you've seen it. I think it's the closest thing to it. Obviously not the same. I think The Fall Guy is the closest thing I've seen in a long time of this kind of, very funny, plays with the tropes of stuntmen and stuff like that. But like, we don't, but who would you get to star in it? Who would be, because I don't feel like we have the only one close enough is The Rock.
As like the main
Arnold
action
type
hero, like not the kid, but like who is, The Rock is definitely up there. It would have, like I was also, because he has kind of been like the quintessential action hero
guy. There's really
like he's been the one that's been nailing it.
Because here's my thing. You don't want to do Marvel movies because, like, that's Deadpool's shtick. You can have little bits
for sure.
to make fun of. But I don't think I think you have to do something that can be set in the world of, like, Fast and Furious. Yeah. And play it with those type of action movies.
Yes. Right, for sure.
And that's why, for me, I think you do The Rock. And he does so well in movies like Jumanji, where it's kind of similar.
He could definitely pull it off. Yes.
Yeah.
He would probably be the best bet. He's definitely the Arnold of today, where everyone knows what to expect.
Get fucking Arnold to play Jack. That motherfucker played Terminator 30 fucking times.
That's true.
We can get him to cameo as Jack Slater.
That's fucking true. Well, then the cameos would be out the wazoo. That would be the other thing. Is it would be, I think it was crazy. I'm like, the cameos is what made me go, this is the shit they do today. I can't believe they were doing this back then.
The end of the movie is the last action hero version of the portal scene in Endgame.
Yes.
We just start getting cameos of everybody.
That's exactly what makes it feel so modern now. It makes it feel more modern now than it did when I watched it when I was like 25. Before we had gotten all of these fourth wall breaks, merging universes together like this. And this was in 93. That's crazy. Yeah. That's so crazy.
Yeah. I love it.
Absolutely,
Fuck
dude.
Man.
Fucking great movie. Fucking great.
What about you, schmoes? Do you like Last Action Hero? Are we wrong on this? Is Demolition Man the better movie? Do you want to fight me on the internet and tell me this? Because I really want you to tell me. I love it. And we didn't even really die outside of it's Back to the Future in the movies.
You're right.
And then he gets back in there.
Yeah.
It's a simplistic plot with some fun gags throughout it.
Yes.
I suggest watching this
any of the the campiness. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my god, it's a little over the top, and then they immediately address it like, oh yeah, we're in this action world, and I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Okay, I guess that's fair. Like,
and I want to give it up to the one-eye guy, like really good actor, really good villain.
Agreed.
Like I was behind
good villain.
The entirety of his character, even the way he goes out. Like I just the movie is going back to the premiere scene. What I loved about that was when he brought the killer that killed Jack's kid.
Yes.
And he's and everybody's like, "Oh, you're dressed up or whatever."
Oh, he's dressed up in character.
And then that actor shows up. Love the whole bit.
Yeah,
love the whole bit.
Brilliant. And they don't like overstay. Like it was blink and you miss it. Like really quick, because they look totally different. But I was like, hey, that's I think that's the actor, and he just walks by like real quick. And then I love that the agent pulls him to his side. He's like, "What are you doing? You want to get typecasted for the rest of your life?" Like it's so goddamn fun.
Well, we talk about that guy so much on this show. He is the most I'm in every movie and doesn't do anything like past a certain year. Love that guy.
Yeah.
But let us know if you like this movie. I think it's a gem. Check it out. It's around. I guess. So next week will be a episode with Brooke, I believe. Then we'll come back with Groundhog's Day on the last week of January. Then followed by Core Memory Horror that's starting. So look out. We're here. Core Memory branched off, okay? We're practically Star Trek now. We have the TNG crew. We got the horror crew.
What if we did Groundhog's Day, and then the next week we did Groundhog's Day, and then the next week we did Groundhog's Day? What if we just did Groundhog's Day forever, for every single week?
100% that episode, because usually these are about a half hour. The episode has to be 2 hours long. Okay. And like at a certain point, it always has to start over. And then one of us has to fucking like change it up just a little bit each time. Until we kiss. Then we have to kiss.
Okay, great. Then we get it. I love that. That'd be fun.
All right. We will catch you next time. Love you, buddy.
I love you, buddy.